Hello friends, in this video lecture we'll study about cell theory. The credit for cell theory is given to two scientists, those are M.J. Scladen and Theodor T. Schwann. In the year 1838, M.J. Scladen, a German botanist, studied different type of plant tissues and he reported that the plant cells the plant tissues are made up of one or more kind of cells. He studied about plant tissues, M.J. Scladen. And in the subsequent year, in the following year, that is in the year 1839, T. Schwann, a German zoologist, studied different type of animal tissues. He studied animal tissues and he reported that animal cells have no cell wall. So they propose cell theory as the cell is the basic structural unit of living organism or life, and also the cell is the basic functional unit of living organism or life. Functional unit of living organism or life, right? But they could not explain how new cells are produced, how new cells arise. In the year 1855, Rodolph Virchow, a German pathologist, declared that new cells originate from pre-existing cell. Thus stated in Latin language, it was stated as omnis cellula e cellula. Means, so the meaning of this in English language, it is stated as new cells arise from pre-existing cells, or new cells originate from pre-existing cell. If there is a pre-existing cells, if a cells present before, then when it undergoes division, new cells are produced. So this was given by Rudolf Virchow. So after this discovery, the cell theory found a final shape. And the modern cell theory. Now we'll discuss about the modern cell theory. There are few points about modern cell theory. So now I state that the modern cell theory as follows. The first point, the modern cell theory. The first is the cell is the structural and functional unit of life or living organism. Means all living organisms are composed of cells and their products. So cell is the basic structural and functional unit of living organism. In the second point, that is cell is the structural and functional unit of living organism. The third point is that was stated by Rudolf Virchow, that new cells originate or arise from pre-existing cell. And the fourth point, the chemical composition and metabolism of all cells are basically similar. right? If we study the chemical composition and metabolism of cells, we can find that their chemical composition and metabolism are basically similar. And the fifth point, fifth point is the function of an organism. The function of an organism as a whole. Organism as a whole is the outcome of all the activities and interaction among the constituent cells. So means the organism function depend upon the cell function, the cell activities. All the activities and interaction of the constituent cells means the living organism body are made up of cells. Suppose the cell has no nutrient, means the cell cannot derive energy. Means finally the organism will feel tired because there is no nutrient in the body, no nutrition is given to cell do not derive any energy, so finally the organism will feel tired. So the function of an organism depends upon the cell's activities and interaction. And the last point, the sixth point is each cell generally has a centrally placed nucleus and some organelles and some amount of cytoplasm. So this is this modern cell theory, but it has some drawbacks of cell theory. So now we'll discuss about the demerit or the drawback of cell theory. Which organism do not obey cell theory? So there are few points. So I state those points. The first is the viruses, viroids, and prions. They do not have cellular architecture. The viruses, we know viruses non-cellular, viruses has no protoplasm. So it does not obey cell theory. The viroid is a RNA molecule. Viroid, an organism, it is only RNA molecule, and prion is a protein molecule. They do not have any cellular architecture. So these three organisms do not obey cell theory. The second, we know the bacteria. Bacteria is a prokaryotic organism. The prokaryote has no true nucleus. So bacteria have no true nucleus. Its genetic material, instead of nucleus, we call it as nucleoid. It has no nuclear membrane, no histone proteins. So bacteria has no true nucleus, so it does not obey cell theory. And third, some algae like Vaucheria, and fungi like Mucor rhizopus. They have many nuclei in their protoplasm. They have undivided mass of protoplasm. Mass of protoplasm means in their cell, the protoplasm do not divide even after division of the nucleus. So they have multinuclear protoplasm. The cell theory states that each cell has a centrally placed nucleus, a single nucleus, but these organisms, their cells have many nuclei, so they do not obey cell theory. And the fourth point, that is, we know about RBC. RBC, when undergoes maturation, do not possess nuclei. And other example, that is sieve tube element of phloem. Sieve tube element, it is a component of phloem tissues. Sieve tube has also no nucleus. So RBC and sieve tube also do not obey cell theory. So these are some exceptions to cell theory. And we studied in this video, we studied about the cell theory and some few drawbacks of cell theory. I hope this video will be understood by all. If you like the video, must subscribe my channel. Thanks.